I hate neon highlighters because I find the colors are pretty harsh on my eyes. I'm currently using Zebra midliners, but the colors are rather dark. I'm interested in trying out fountain pen highlighters. Are there inks that are labeled as highlighter inks the only ones that you can use, or can you use any light colored ink? So first off, I'll say if you want to see the highlighter inks we have available at Goulet, you can do that. It's not necessarily under the properties like water resistance and UV and all that stuff in our drop down. It's actually under the colors. So if you go to gouletpens.com, you click on bottled ink, you can then see in the color swatch drop down, there is a place under ink color that says highlighter / invisible. That's how you narrow down the search for the highlighter inks. So hopefully that can help you at least navigate and narrow down what your options are. I'm super glad we have that option on our site. You're going to find most of them are going to be Noodler's inks because Noodler's just likes to push the envelope when it comes to ink design. But you don't have to be restricted to those. In general, you're not going to see those inks being too dark in color. Some of them are going to be a little on the neon side. And honestly, it's like really hard to have those come across in a digital scan because these ink colors just do not want to photograph. So some of them you might need to get some samples and try out or read the reviews and stuff like that. I honestly don't like super test all of them. The Dragon Cat Noodler's inks are pretty vibrant. Firefly, Chartreuse, those are all pretty vibrant. But if you go with something like a Noodler's Atlantic Salmon or the Blue Lightning, I think it's called, those are a little more subdued. You don't have to go with a highlighter ink though. You can certainly use a lighter ink. Jerbon Bouton d'Or is a good example. It's a light yellow. It's pretty much useless as a normal ink. So unless you're highlighting with it, you know, maybe if you're like ink washing with it or something, you can use it. I don't know. It's not a very popular ink. And there's several kind of lighter yellows and lighter greens and stuff like that that are not super practical for regular ink, but you could certainly use them for highlighting, especially if you wanted to highlight them in the Pilot Parallel. That's a great pen using as a highlighter. I don't have one to show you, but you can look it up on our site. The Pilot Parallel is a really good pen. It's a steel nib pen. It's about 10 bucks, but you can use it for highlighting. It works really great. So it's kind of a stub nib. And then if you wanted to kind of tweak the adjustment of your color, you can actually dilute the ink with water, and that'll lighten up the color a bit. You know, start out with maybe a 10% dilution, go a little bit further to like maybe 25% dilution, even up to a 50% dilution. Once you start to push more than 25, it starts to really kind of mess with the flow and the properties and stuff like that because you're just watering it down so much. But it's certainly something you could experiment with if you have a color and you're really kind of trying to tweak it. And the color can vary a little bit too, depending on, you know, the paper that's being used and stuff like that. So you may want to tweak it just a little bit, but that would certainly be an option for you.